Okay, guys, welcome back. This is the Space Station podcast, official podcast, the Sefton Performing Arts and Creative Education. My name is Adam Wheatley, and today I'm joined by Skye, Kev, and JP.
Hello.
And for the first time ever, we're actually doing this podcast at Space.
Yeah.
Woo!
Live and in space, baby.
So, how's everyone doing now that we're back? How's everyone feeling?
Good, but like
Good.
weird at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird being back.
So for those, obviously, this is a podcast that we're not doing on video. We're doing it live in the room. We're only recording audio. But for those that want to know how we're setting it up, we've got 4 big boxes and we're all sat in a different box. So we're all about 4 meters apart from each other, which is a little bit strange. But Kevin and JP are reaching out there longingly.
We share a womb.
So yeah, we're back. For those that haven't been back to space yet, a lot of changes have been made. We've had to put a lot of social distancing stuff in place, including hand sanitizing stations, tape all around the place, marking off 2 meter social distancing. And we've even got a big plastic screen down on the front desk, which I keep forgetting is there, and go to reach for stuff. It's a proper nightmare. So how are you feeling now that you're back? Obviously, it's good to be back and it's good to have you back, but how are you feeling? What's going on?
I quite like, obviously you guys are doing everything you can to make sure we all stay safe and that. But the cubes, like the squares in the main stage, I really like it because it's made us. We've got to become a lot more inventive with the way we do our drama, and I proper like it the way we've kind of like last week we done a little scene where we all woke up in a box. And I was like, we never would have thought of that unless we had these little...
I watched a bit of that. It was hilarious. I loved it. Running at the invisible wall and stuff.
Thinking outside the box.
How about you, Kev? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think I'm the same. It's like it's something. Obviously, it's good to be back. It's good and weird at the same time, but like not a bad weird. It's like one of those things that you just kind of have to get used to. I think Tuesdays are probably my favourites. I think because obviously we can actually act, we can do stuff. Like Wednesdays is. I know because we can't like shout or sing, and obviously it's musical theatre. Yeah. So I think that one. I think Wednesdays for me is the one that's going to take some getting used to because we can't do what we normally can. Which obviously Wednesdays were like normally we're singing, dancing, moving around. But obviously Tuesdays we're acting, which is what we can still do even though we're trapped inside the boxes like a mime. But yeah, it's like JB said. It's one of those things that you just it can just wear. It's just wearing. Yeah. It's just wearing even though you're trapped in that box, but I think it's just getting used to. I mean, it's only been open for like this is the second week now. Yeah. And I think it's just one of those things you just have to get used to. Of
course. And Skye, have you got any thoughts?
It's different. Like it's a bit weird not being able to like go up and see everyone properly.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah. I think for us as a staff team as well, like we share the same things as you. Like just because we're staff, don't think that we've got any different views. I think all of us as a staff team are as frustrated with the situation as you guys are. But the flip side of that is that we get to have you back and we get to be back at space. Obviously, we learned a lot while we were on lockdown. There was a lot of lessons that we had to kind of go through in terms of being able to do all of our online stuff. But I think a lot of good come from it. Although the lockdown hasn't been kind to everyone, as space, I think a lot of positives. Like I don't know whether you've seen the video last week that we've put together.
Yeah, I love that video.
That was really good.
It was proper funny.
I thought I'm gonna cry here.
right in the fields.
Right in the fields. It was just so nice to see all the work we've done, and because I remember the first time we went on Zoom, I know a lot of people were like, this is not gonna work. How are we gonna do it? And just the stuff that we made, the stuff that we all created together, and then getting to see that video, and everyone's still taking part, even though they're not. Obviously, like during the Zoom calls or doing like little, like the space challenges. Everyone like literally took part, and it was just like I think the fact that we got to see all that in one little video, it was just it made it all worth it. I think
it's kind of like it's like Brian said, we've all got to know each other a lot better. Yeah, because obviously on the sessions Tuesday and Wednesdays we were in each other's living rooms or bedrooms. That's it. Which sounds weird to say, but it's one of those things where obviously like we got to know, like see everyone's life basically. Obviously outside the space we got to see in the bedroom. Like I know when seen ads and we seen all your comic book things in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
I was so happy.
So, so it's one of those things like it's just seeing like the posters on the wall or like Brian's and keyboards in the
Yeah.
in the living room, which is something we all knew Brian had.
Yeah.
It's nice to see where he's in his own element. You know,
Absolutely,
he's got
yeah.
the instruments around him, and you know that's where he makes his magic.
Yeah, yeah.
As Brian would say.
Yeah. No, I think for me, I was quite chuffed with getting to know other young people. So as you know, I do a lot of the tech stuff. For me, the tech work it doesn't work in a group setting. You've got to do one-to-one sessions. So I don't see anywhere near as many young people as say Brian, Kerry or Annie. But being online and being on Discord allowed me the opportunity to discuss things with you, and you know, even the odd time get involved in a youth theatre session. I think it was once, and then do the challenges, and you know, and even the podcast. Like the podcast for me was a big deal. Me and Kerry have always spoken about getting like a space youth voice group together, but making it interesting. And one of the things a lot of organisations fail to do is get young people involved in what they like to call co-production and co-participation, but making it meaningful. A lot of organisations do it just to tick a box on a funding application, whereas we want to do it to show that you guys are involved every step of the way. And one of our aims with that video was to show that space isn't just a building, and it's not the staff team, and it's not the funding that we've got, it's you guys. And the fact that you guys were involved every step of the way. If you weren't engaged, space through the lockdown, it wouldn't have been anything. So you guys made that work. We put the effort in getting the platform set up, but it took you guys to make it work. So I know I'm speaking on behalf of all the staff team when I say thanks, because you've made it interesting. We could have just been sat there for 3 months bored, but we weren't. And you know, we got involved in the mad challenges, and we got involved in the recycle runway and stuff, and it was great. Even down to the quiz. Like the quiz for me was something that I look forward to every week.
Yeah, I love the quiz and the quiz nights.
It was, and we changed things up. I went a little bit mad with it, and I was getting you to put light bulbs in the toilet roll tube, and it's doing all kinds. But you know, we were working with you guys to see what was interesting, what was working, what was not. And as you know, like we slowed down the challenges a little bit because they quietened down, and then we started up recycle runway, and then that ramped down. So we would always try other things, and that's going to continue. So now that we're back at space, we've got to adapt to this new way of working. And usually around this time, we probably have had a show by now. You know, last year we had the Jungle Book. And we can't do that this year, obviously, because of social distancing. But we are, as a team, looking at other things that we can do.
I think that's a weird thing. I think it's the first year in about 10 years we haven't done a show right now.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to do like Christmas show now, did we?
That's it.
Oh, did we?
We done Arjach.
Oh yeah, Arjach, yeah.
So one of the ideas that I proposed the other day, we were having a staff meeting about ideas that we could throw out for how we'd approach a Christmas show. So one of the things I wanted to throw at you to see what you thought was, you ever heard of the Cannes Film Festival? So it's a film festival where, you know, independent filmmakers can show off their film and they win awards and it goes out and stuff. So what I suggested was, why don't we, as Space, have our own like Space Oscars, like Space Film Festival, where each of you guys can put together a short film. So you could come up with like a Christmas short film, and we could all, so you could work in little groups, you could work in little bubbles, social distancing permitting, and hopefully by September, social distancing might be relaxed even more. But you guys get to produce like little films that then we can show off later on in like an Oscars ceremony, like best supporting actress and you know all that sort of stuff.
Cool.
So it's something that
Best director and everything.
Exactly. So it's something that, although we can't put together a show right now, it's something that we can still work towards. And then when everything settles down completely and we can have people back in the hall again, we can have this big celebration event of, although we had COVID and everything else, look at all the stuff that we did anyway. And we'd love to do like... So that's one of the ideas. There are others as well. But hopefully over the next few weeks we'll be a bit more transparent on what we're thinking about.
I think I'd love that.
I think we could do another like last year when we done that monologue night with the Tuesdays group.
Yeah, well, that's what you can use.
I think I thought
people in different queues. You can
probably do like another show like that. Obviously, like individual monologues or even obviously duologues as well.
Yeah.
So you can always use like excuse me, like Facebook Live, and you can. It might be interesting to live stream a show even.
Absolutely. So that's part of the reason why we got the camera and stuff in the hall is to see how that works.
Yeah.
That's so weird that like on Wednesday session when we're there, obviously in the room, and then Tom, we seen his face just on the big white thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Big face.
Like obviously, like you're used to everyone like paying on like the Zoom thing a session, but then when you're here,
You see just that one person.
There, it's so weird just
That's
like,
it.
seeing. And then obviously like Wednesday with Brian, and he as Alfie was talking, like Brian like Brian went behind it with his hand as if he's talking.
But yeah, it's all that sort of stuff that we're trying, and you know, we wanted to hear from you guys as well. If you think that we can be doing something different or something better, and you've got an idea of how we can do that, let us know, because we're always learning.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been a bit quiet, Skye. What are your thoughts? Tell us everything. What are your secrets?
Don't know.
Are you feeling all right about it all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Another idea that we had, going off the idea of streaming a show, was I think Ben and Annie were talking like a talking heads type scenario. So we'd still have the boxes, but each of the boxes would have a spotlight above them. And the idea would be that the show would take place with you in your boxes, but whoever was performing, the light would come on. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be cool.
I
Yeah.
feel that. I like that.
Yeah, so there's that sort of thing as well. Obviously, one of the things that we are not curious. One of the things we are cautious about is we're being told that we can't do too much like active movements because it makes you breathe heavy, and breathing is what transmits. So like dancing, and as you mentioned about musical theatre as well. So when we're thinking about performances, if we're still distancing like we are come October, November, which I'm hoping we're not, but if we are, we've got to take all that into consideration as well. Yeah. So we'll, any ideas that you've got that you think might work, please throw at us.
I had this idea with, well, I mean, it'll have to be after lockdown because this idea, it was for like a Halloween show in space. Do you know like that show we done in college with Rachel, where it was like Promenade, I think it was called Promenade.
We had them in the audience.
Yeah. So basically, we'd start, so the audience like start off on the stairs, and there'll be a tour guide, and like, you know, like Space is Haunted and all that. And the tour guide will like take the audience to like a certain room. Yeah. And in that room there'll be a scene going on. So, you know, all stuff like that. And then as the audience leaves, and then the people in that room run around space and then get into like another room.
That would be boss.
And obviously after when everyone can be quite close with each other.
Yeah.
Or even in like little small groups could still be done as well.
That'd be amazing.
Technically, you can make the whole, obviously, like we have to be like a few minutes apart, and the fact that if it was Halloween, if you go to scare the audience, then they generally have to run away because they can't be near us.
So imagine if we were doing that now, like you'd take the audience into one room and move them out, and then a cleaning crew comes in, mop it all up quick. That'd be the scary moment, everyone cleaning up. So that's what we've got to do at the minute. That's something that I think we're trying to adjust to, is the fact that wherever we work as a group, we've then got to go in and clean everything.
Yeah, it's like that because my work's like reopened again, which is the day centre. So I'm in for the next 3 weeks. I'm now in there because obviously during this lockdown I've been working on the homes. Yeah. I'm back in my normal hours and that. Yeah. So I'm so glad that I've got my weekends back.
Amazing.
But basically, after we bring the service users in, and then once we take them out, we've got to clean everything, and I mean literally everything down to a T. Yeah. And then when we bring in the next lot, before we leave at 4 o'clock, we've got to do it all again. Yeah. But that includes any we use even outside. We've got to clean all that. It's not new to us anyway, but it's a lot more
like severe.
It's like a lot more extreme now. Yeah. In the sense that because they want it reopened as soon as possible to get all the guys back, because a lot of the staff missed them. I did too as well. Like, and it's just keeping everything clean. But I don't know if it's happened to you guys, but sometimes, like, I mean, like, there's little things like and which I forget, like when I'm cleaning, because I've cleaned so much that there'll be something which I forget. Yeah. And then I lose my head because I know it's
that mental checklist. Yeah.
Standing there just going check.
So coming out of the lockdown, inverted commas, because it's like a time period now, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll be talking about it to our kids like the lockdown of 2020.
2020 was not a good year.
Oh no, forget it. We wrote it off. We did 2019 and then 2021. There was nothing in between.
Just doesn't exist.
It was all gone. But coming out of it now, what are your main takeaways from it? Have you changed the way you live in a positive way? Have you learned something that you didn't know before about yourself? What do you think? I know for me personally, I've always been quite a loner. Not in a sad way, like, oh, I'm a loner. But I like my own company. So, don't be doing that. Sad Affleck.
Tiny
so, I've always liked my own company. And not in a way like, oh, get away from me. But if I'm on my own, I'll find things to do and I'll find things to keep me interested. And what I learned during the lockdown was that although that's fine, I do like interacting and I do like seeing my friends, and I did miss that in a big way. And I can't tell you how much it meant to me when they announced the social bubbles idea, was that you could, if you're living on your own and someone else was living on their own, you could form a bubble. So me and Annie formed a bubble, and a lot of the same situation, but Annie is the other way, where she's very sociable and doesn't like being on her own too much. So as you can imagine, like, soon as the bubble started, I was kind of like, oh yeah, an hour, it'll be fine, and I can go back. And he was like, no, don't leave me. It's fine. You stay here. It's okay. So, and then ever since then, like, don't tell her this, because I'll never hear the end of it. I hope she doesn't listen to this podcast, but it has been nice.
This is where she does now.
I need music, quick.
But she keeps saying, Adam, I love you. And I keep going, yeah. Well, it's been nice. I think for my biggest takeaway is the fact that I think you take your friends for granted sometimes, and then when you don't have the access to them that you usually do, it makes you treasure that friendship even more.
I think I was like that. Like I'm the same in the sense that I quite like my own space.
Yeah.
Like, not like usually, like not in a sense like I don't want anyone near me, but I'm quite happy when it's just me. Yeah. Like when I come home from work, I stick on my game. I'm happy. It's just me.
That's it.
But I think what I took from this is that I think I took for granted on how much, like, during the first few months of lockdown, I went allowed to see me like family, and I think I went nearly a whole month without seeing Kev, and for me that was something that was just weird. I
bet that's something that's never happened either between you two.
I don't think we've even gone.
I think the longest we've been apart is when I went to Spain in
like
year 11.
And you should have seen me when he came back. I never let him go. But I think like it's just showing on like the time and how much kind of I enjoy spending it with Kevin, like with my mum. And I think during the first like the first month lockdown, because we weren't allowed to see them, because our mum's quite my mum's like because she's vulnerable. Because when I work, I weren't allowed to risk that chance, and I think that bit was what I was hard for me. I think not being able to see my mum and Kevin, my dad, and I think after all this is the thing, I think I'm probably going to be spending a lot more time with them. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm going to spend every
Tears
day
are flowing there.
Here comes the waterworks.
So sad. I think for me, it's I think it's been like quite a. Obviously, it's a bad thing to happen, but it was because me and Kellyanne, we moved into our flat like just before the lockdown.
Yeah.
And people say, you know, when you first move in together, it's hard for a couple months, and we were tested. It's like this lockdown tested us. It's like, because normally, obviously, we would have been in work, so like we wouldn't have seen a lot of each other.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, we see each other every single day. We were there. And I think it was good in that sense, because like I think we passed with like flying colours, to be fair. And I know through this lockdown there's been like an uprising like domestic like violence, and
of course,
obviously some people just can't stand living with each other. But I'm thankful for that, because we've really, like, even though I've been with her for like I think it'd be like 6 years at the end of this month.
It's amazing.
Is it? Yeah, 6 years. Yeah,
longer than any of my relationships. I'll tell you that.
it's my longest one.
Same longer than anyone.
But yeah, I think so. It's like I felt like we've come like even closer.
Yeah.
The fact that we've obviously having to be like stuck to each other.
Yeah.
And I was and like since I wasn't working, I was always around with my mum, helping her sort of like a shop and picking up a medication or stuff like that. And I think it's the same thing. Like I used to enjoy my own company. Like, you know, I used to love like my own time.
Yeah.
But I think with this lockdown, I think it just makes you, it does make you miss that and that interaction with everyone. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I felt so happy like being able to do like the Zoom meetings on Space.
Yeah.
Being able to see everyone's faces. Like obviously it wasn't the interaction that you'd wanted. It's like it was like if you're reading a comic book, it's best to read it in your hands rather than online.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So so I think it's just maybe missed like the interaction between things. So I think it's been good and bad.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I'm going to agree with that. How about you, Skye? You got anything?
Well, I didn't get to see my dad for 4 months. It was like dead hard not being able to see him. And then when I finally seen it, it was like so good just to see him again.
That must have been difficult, that.
Yeah, it was.
Such a long time.
Yeah, because like there's like 6 of them in the house, so I couldn't like go over or nothing, like, not even for a bit. So
Yeah.
and then when I got to see it, I was like so happy just being able to see him again.
That's amazing.
That's a long time, that 4 months, like, without your dad.
A long time.
I think I went similar to you, JP, but I didn't get to see my mum and dad like properly. What my setup was, I was going over to my parents. They were opening the garage door for me and going back in the house. I was going through the garage door, closed the door, and they'd let the dogs out into the garden, and that was my social time. So I'd just be on the floor with the dogs rolling about, and they'd open the windows in the conservatory and talk to me through the windows. So that was like the most I had interaction for a good 2 months. So in my experience, like, at least I had that. But I can imagine like there were other people that couldn't even do that. Like none of my parents weren't shielding or anything, but my sister lives there and she's got a new baby, so I didn't want to chance anything like that. You know what I mean? But it wasn't as if again like I was seeing anyone. I spent a lot of the lockdown just in my flat. I was happy with that. But I can't tell you how nice it was just to remember when they said, right, you can go and see family. And my mum rang me and went, right, you're coming for a roast. I was like, yes, first meal. I don't have to cook myself for like 4 months. I was so happy. But yeah, I don't know. I think if we could do it all over again, I don't think any of us would.
No.
Would you?
No, definitely
I
not.
think if we did, I think our government would actually,
Be
take
good.
a step a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Because they had all the chances, but they just never
Didn't do
listened.
anything.
Yeah.
It's just been slow.
I think, as I say, we wouldn't do it again, but I think we've all taken enough positive away from it where it kind of outweighs the negative. Obviously, that's not discounting, people that have been directly affected by COVID, because I'm sure it's ruined a lot of lives. But, touch wood, and cross my legs there, touch wood, we've all been quite fortunate. And I think as a Space family, I think we've all come out of it fairly unscathed. And even if for those people that are going through a little bit more difficult times than others, we can all support each other and kind of, have each other's backs. So
I think we became, like the young people, I think we became a lot closer with you guys as well.
Yeah.
Staff-wise. Because it's not, we never got to see, you a lot, but with Zoom,
Yeah.
see you and Ben, let's see, 4 days a week.
I was shoved down everyone's throats.
It's so nice to see everyone.
Couldn't get enough. I think
whole lot
one of the highlights for me was putting together the staff logs, because it was something that everyone always asks, what do you guys get up to during the day, or what's it like working at Space? And although the staff logs with us working at home, you still got a little bit of an insight into what goes on in our day-to-day lives. And we have discussed maybe doing other staff logs now that we're back, so you can see, what goes on during the day.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I really like Ben's one when towards the end, when he's making the food.
Yeah.
The angles he's done on the camera was, I absolutely love that.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think Annie's was funny with when she met you in the park.
Oh,
Or something like that.
Yeah, that
I think it
was
was a
funny.
park or something.
She was trying to film, and she was trying to film me, but I just kept moving around behind her, so she couldn't film me. And then in the end, she went, right, I'll just do my intro then. So she started recording her intro, and I was just skipping behind her, just frolicking in the field. She was laughing her head off. But that day I took the drone out, because I've got this little drone. And what I didn't tell you is about my vlog. So my vlog, there was some drone footage in it.
Yeah.
That entire drone footage was the drone flying away from me and me not being able to control it. So what happened was, where I filmed the vlog, I was getting no GPS signal. I was getting it when the drone was on the floor, but as soon as it took off, it lost it. So when it loses GPS, it just goes off. It just disappears. But if it goes too far, you lose control and it'll just fly away. So it was flying, and it was where I was flying. It was where I live now, and I don't know the area that well. So looking at it from the sky down, I was like, "What am I looking at? Like, what's going on?" So I was panicking, but I was like, "No, this is footage for the vlog. It's got to look good." So I was trying to make it look good, but then I was like, "Oh no!" But if the drone goes, I'm not gonna have the foot. Oh, it was a nightmare.
I can just picture the drone in the sky and just see you like a little maze running around.
Mate, I was
Yeah.
panicking, and then I was literally, the drone footage makes it look like I was out for a good hour, but I wasn't. So it must have been like 5 minutes. I was like up, down, in, done.
I can
But
picture people living there, just seeing like a home in a drone.
mate, I was
And then adding
Someone just like following them afterwards.
I was so scared I was going to lose that drone. But yeah, there was loads of that, like loads of things that we did. You probably, if you took part in Recycle Runway, you know that a lot of things went wrong in that. Like I played the wrong clips, and
Yeah.
it's just honestly, like it was so much going on where I was like, I'm good at tech, but I don't know whether I'm not good. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Never a space show unless something goes wrong with the tech side.
well, that's it. That should be our tech motto, me and Ben.
Yeah.
Something's always got to go wrong for it to be an Adam and Ben show.
Yeah. It's space.
But yeah. So have you enjoyed doing the podcast at Space?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, it's been great too. Because I mean, I enjoy doing like obviously like online, and then obviously I missed the where we done like video ones.
Yeah.
I missed them ones. But yeah, it's just been nice being
I
here,
think
being able to.
this is kind of has like a proper feel to it. I know like when the podcast first started, it was something new for everyone. It was really fun to head into, and then we brought in the videos.
That's right, yeah.
But I think with this now, like with all the same room, I know we got you know the mics and cubes and that, but it's like it's took an even more step like past videos.
That's it.
And I just I really liked it. I think up to now.
I just like being able to like, because like if I talk to someone, I like looking them in the eye when I'm talking to them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think
And on Zoom, you like that look.
I know you like that look, trying to look at everyone.
So what I'm thinking as well is, we'll obviously these will be weekly now, and it'll be a similar setup until we can make changes and get everyone in the studio and stuff. But what I'm thinking is, if any of you and anyone listening wants to have a hand at hosting the podcast, let me know, and we can sort that out one week. Where if you want to host, and you can choose who's going to be on it, whether you want staff members on it or whether you just want all young people, that's completely up to you.
That sounds cool.
So let me know, and we can sort that out.
I'd like to do one with all the staff. I think that'd be fun to do.
Yeah. So
I'd like to
you want to quiz all the staff? We can get that.
Fun.
Get
So
all the
just
juicy secrets off them all.
what's that?
Get all the secrets off them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's,
What don't you like about Danny?
That's exposure.
I'll tell you that for free. What are you on about? But yeah, quick shout out as well for anyone that hasn't been on the Discord. Our resident DJ Kieran has done a radio show for McGull Radio, and he's put it on Discord now. It's a really good listen. He does a nice space shout out, and he's going to be doing that every Saturday. So I mentioned to him that I'd shout it out on the podcast, hoping that he'll shout about our podcast on his radio show. But we'll see.
Kieran.
That's it. So
Yeah.
how much of the MCU have you watched, Keenan? How much? What's going on? But
Probably all
no,
of them.
I think we'll end it there, guys. So thanks for taking part. Thanks for
again, Adam.
making it dead easy. For everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. And as usual, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, email. There's a lot. You can write into us. You can send a carrier pigeon. However you want to get involved.
Eagle, send some fan mail.
And we're now open as well. So if you want to give us a call, if you want to drop by, make yourself known. But yeah, thanks guys, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Bye guys.